Hello, Singing Hub people, and welcome to a new week. I apologize for not getting to all of you next week. If there's a week that I do not email you, it's purely because I only get 5 emails a month in my plan for Squarespace. I'm not kidding. So because of that, there will almost always be a week during the month, unless it's a short month, that I don't have an email or a video that goes out to you. In that case, I usually do a week of self-study, and I find articles and videos that I think are worth watching. So I did that last week. So if you don't hear from me during the week, still take a look at the hub, because I will probably have videos and other things on the hub that you can take a look at. And what I will say is, this week was vocal health week. I did a lot of vocal health because I tend to go with what my students need at the time, and this week a lot of my students needed vocal health advice. So I did, I found a video on nebulizer versus steamer. I found a video on how to use a neti pot. I found a video on how to use alcohol. Sorry, I'm like itchy. Alcohol, which is actually a sinus rinse situation. And that was because I have some students that are running into some allergies and other illness-related things, sinus-related things. So I wanted to send that to you on the Singing Hub because I just think it's valuable information. And as I get things, I will stick them on there, and it may not be like on my designated days where I send an email, so just keep checking. Cool. So today is Head Voice Day, and I want to preface this by saying this is head voice for females or female identifying people who sing in the soprano or mezzo soprano range. I'm not talking about falsetto, although some of this will cross over to falsetto later. We'll get there later. But this is specifically a soprano mezzo head voice kind of discussion. And I will do a whole video later on trans voices. I will do a whole video later on falsetto. So if you're like, oh, I thought this was, and it can't, some of this is general. So if you are a baritone or a tenor or a bass even, some of this is still applicable, but not totally. So I would say wait for those later videos, because I'll get more nitty-gritty with it in future weeks. I'm kind of focusing more on soprano mezzo voices first, and then I'm going to get more into other voice types later. And that's just simply because this stuff is a little more generalized and it's a bigger population, and that's really all. So what is head voice? I have a lot of students that come to AMDA and they say head voice. Some of them understand it. Some of them heard various things about head voice from previous teachers or previous experiences. And I like to give a very pointed definition for head voice. So when I'm talking about head voice, I am talking about your vocal cords coming together and stretching this way. And I am also talking about the higher part of the range, and often this is referred to as the lighter part of the voice, but your head voice isn't necessarily lighter. That's a whole other discussion for another day. So one of the things that I want you to have around for this video, if you can, is a straw. If you don't have one, go run out, get one. Even a reusable straw is fine, by the way. This is just the one that I keep in my classroom. It's like a McDonald's straw, probably from takeout not too long ago. And what I want you to do first is I want you to put the straw in your mouth. I'm going to be very specific about this. Make sure that the corners are together and you're doing a fishy face. So none of there. You want this. Okay? We call that a siren. Okay? We call that a siren. And I want you to do a couple of them. See how high you can get with the siren. likely you were going to go way higher than your typical range. Straw work is great. We love straws. I love straws. I use them all the time. I use various sizes of straws. This is a general drinking straw. You can do a lot with it. Yes, it will get very full of condensation. I was also a brass player, so this is just a fact of life, y'all. You can toss your straw when you're done. You can clean it, whatever you want to do. Okay, so now what I want to do, let's do full descending scales with the straw. We're going to go up, we're going to go down. So there you go. I'm very itchy in the nose area today. That's just how it is. If you have had me as a voice teacher, you know what I mean. If I say the cup, I have to pull out my nifty bag here full of stuff. Get a paper cup is best. Okay? This is totally out of the teacher's lounge at AMDA. So, paper cup that you drink coffee out of, a sturdy one, and then you take a pen and you poke a hole in the bottom. Okay? This is what's called, and also the straw, by the way, these are called semi-occluded exercises. So, don't seal this off. You want some space between the cup and your face. Again, do your sirens. It's really hard to put any sort of weight, vocal weight, into things if you're using the cup and the straw. So especially if you're somebody who really struggles with head voice, straw and cup are your best friends. Okay? Sorry, somebody just delivered a package, and I have a very loud buzzer. So this is like a really, really helpful thing. Anyway, so what you can do with a cup is you can also do those descending scales. By the way, in the cup I'm going kind of like a brass player. What also works as a CPR mask. If you have a CPR mask, that's like the most ideal thing. I don't have one on me right now. It's on the vocal list. It's on the vocal like stuff list. Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 more exercises. This is gonna be a longer video. I apologize. I have a lot of stuff for head voice. Again, also, if you ever have any questions about any of this stuff, please feel free to email me. Especially now, we're still in quarantine. And I will try to get back to you within 24 hours. So, there are 2 ways to do this. If you can roll an R, and roll an R dentally, like behind your front teeth. If you can't, do an L. It'll give you the same effect. Either is fine. I prefer a roll. L is also cool. Alright? Dental L. Not American L. You got me. So I'm going to switch between the 2 while I do this. I tend to go down and then up with this. It does depend with the student, but... Fun fact, ooh, the vowel ooh, can't put a lot of weight into an ooh. It's too hard. So ooh is a great one to take your head voice down lower. I got a smudge from my mascara. And to take it down lower into where your chest voice range is, so that you're not, you know, singing in chest voice down there when you don't want it. We're going to talk about chest voice next week. That's going to be my next adventure. I also have a lot of chest voice exercises, so it'll probably also be a long video. One of my, this is a student favorite. I got this from my teacher, David Jones. I just call this the staccato legato. So we do he. Also, if you want an added benefit to this, I'll talk about soft palate later in our lives, but if you're at the point where you feel like you can really control your soft palate and move it forward, soft palate goes wider during your legato. And staccato if you can, but the legato especially, so. I take that one as far up as I can, by the way, if you can do that, because then you can see what's going on. I will tell you for sopranos, and especially me today, middle voice is where this one really is like the most helpful, because it makes you figure out what's working and what's not that day. I can take that as high as G. If I'm not feeling it, if I'm really working middle voice that day, I only take it to maybe like a D. That D. Okay, now, for those of you that are, more on the coloratura inclined route, or spinto route, or you just like to move your voice a lot if you're like a riffer, this is also a staccato legato sort of situation, the Alleluia. And what I will say with this one is, this is the very beginning of agility. Agility, again, is a whole other subject. The world of singing is wide, as you can see. So, Alleluia, Alleluia, to a G. If you are a higher soprano, you may take it higher. In fact, I recommend highly that you take it higher. But I only took it to a G today. Because I'm making this a very general video for all levels. So, as usual, please sign up for the email list at the top of the page for the Singing Hub. If you cannot, backing up. Sign up for the email list specifically for the Singing Hub. It's on the Singing Hub. Because then you'll get the weekly emails that say like, oh, I did the video. Like I said, it's more like 3 or 4 emails a month because of the way that my plan works. So welcome to Squarespace. It's just how it works. Because I also do a monthly newsletter. If you want to hear generally about what I'm up to, monthly newsletter. If you want me to cover something specifically on the Singing Hub that you are having trouble with, or you just have a question about one of the videos or a question in general, send me an email, candice.shaugnessy@gmail.com, candice.shaughnessy@gmail.com. You can also just hit reply to one of the Singing Hub emails, and or you can hit reply to any of the newsletters. That dumps into my general inbox. All right, well, have a great week, and next time we do the Singing Hub, we're going to do chest voice. So I'll see you then.